welcome to episode 5 of Mind Over Emotions, the podcast. I got 2 good guests with me. We got Mo back. She was on episode 1. If you guys actually watched that episode, I hope you did. And then, what's your name, lady?
Vanessa.
Vanessa what?
Oh, Shelton.
Or just Vanessa. All right, so I brought you guys on today because, as you guys know, we're going to be competing this weekend. So this episode is going to be a little bit different than the ones that we've done before. All the ones before about relationships, mental health, and all that kind of stuff. We still kind of might touch on that, but the biggest focus of this episode is going to be you guys' journey in fitness and how that can kind of tie into your mental health. What y'all think about that?
Perfect. Yeah.
All right, so we know
Let's
a little bit
do
about
it.
Mo, so we're going to start with you, Vanessa. So where are you from?
I'm from here, Tacoma, Washington.
All right, how old are you?
I'm 26.
26. You look like you're about 12. But,
Thank you.
but when did you first start playing sports?
Around 4. My parents put my siblings and I do the Y, so I submerged myself with a bunch of sports with that, and then around 9, 10 is when I transitioned to select soccer, and I played AAU basketball.
What's select soccer for those who don't know?
So there's like different tiers of soccer. You have your rec level, which is you just sign up and you just get put on a team. Select is the next step where you have to go through a tryout, and then there's 3 different teams. There's usually blue, white, and then black. Black being like the top, white being like in the middle, and navy is like kind of
So it's
lower
not
level.
by age group at all?
No, it is. It's by age. So it goes by the year that you're born. So like I
Oh.
was born in 98, so I was a U98.
98, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Mo, where are you from again? Remind everybody.
San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, you know what?
State town.
You know what? It's funny because I always said that I want to open my gym in Texas. In San Antonio too. Yeah, we actually said we're going to do this together.
There's
yeah?
actually no powerlifting gym in San Antonio.
No, they have one. I think they have one now. If somebody's watching, please let me know if I'm right, because if so, I might need to change it. But when did you get into sports?
Middle school.
Middle school, okay.
Yeah.
What was your first sport you played?
Soccer, then volleyball, then basketball.
Okay, and then yours was soccer as well?
Mhm.
Did you play anything else besides soccer?
Track as well.
Track?
Yeah.
You're a little small to be running track, ain't you?
Yeah.
Hey, she do
Like a
400.
little choppy
I was-
steps.
100.
I can only say that because I was small too. I was really small as a kid. And then, so for me, I got into sports. I played sports for the first time in Fairbanks, Alaska. I played soccer, indoor soccer. When I was like 4 or 5 years old, I played indoor soccer. And then I didn't play any other sport until I moved to North Carolina. And that was around like when I was like 9 or 10. I played basketball, played rec basketball. So, did you ever play for these schools? Like when you were younger? Did you play for like your middle school or anything like that?
Yeah, middle school and high school.
Okay, what about you?
Same.
All right. So, whenever you was playing sports, did you ever deal with any kind of like negative like energy from like your teammates or your coaches or anything like that? No?
No.
Oh, you were the lucky one, huh?
Never. Yeah, I went to a charter school, a private school, so it was pretty chill. I mean, like every off season, I did a different sport. So soccer ends, then I do volleyball ends, then basketball.
Okay, and then how did you balance like sports in school? Like was because obviously in order to be an athlete you gotta have. I hope you had to have
Good
a
grades, yeah,
grade.
of course.
Was that like ever a struggle for you?
No, so I went to a private school. It was a private Muslim school. They're like on it. And sports was like my getaway. I was raised with 2 brothers, so I'd rather be at practices than at home. So
They didn't play sports?
no, my brothers are nerds. They're like, let me go home and play blade.
All right, and then did you have any kind of like issues with any of your coaches or teammates or anything like that?
I got pretty lucky with club. I had 3 great club coaches that I still talk to. But college and high school.
Heck yeah.
Okay, but don't go to college yet. We're gonna get to college in a minute.
But high school definitely. It was my first ever female coach.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I've always had
What was the issue with her?
Just she was moody. We could tell she was,
something.
Well, wouldn't you guys be able to relate on that because y'all all females?
Well, it was just like the first. Okay, let me try to go back. My first 2 years with her, my freshman and sophomore year, because I made varsity all 4 years. She was great. It was my junior and senior year where she ended up quitting my senior year. She stopped coaching, and it
Y'all
just.
made us quit.
That's what I was about to say. Like, what did y'all do to make her quit?
She said that she just didn't. She was an elementary school teacher,
Okay.
so she just said balancing. It was. I think she just got burnt out, and some of my other teammates were kind of rude to her. And I just think that she just was done. But she was good on her good days, but when she was in a bad mood because she had a bad day at work, you could tell. And she took it out on us, so.
So I'm just curious, like, so I know, like, in male sports, right? Like, we start out, like, in the gym, like, with, like, you know, working out. How is that for females? When did you start, like, did they start incorporating, like, you know, like, the gym, like, weights into your training?
Club, we never lifted
Well,
weights.
obviously, you guys
And
were, like,
then-
probably, like, 5.
Well, no, even, like, in high school, like, with my club team where I had to practice, like, we only practiced three days a week, and it was for 2 hours, and it was just all out on the field. We never
Okay.
lifted weights or anything like that.
So did you ever, like, lift weights or anything like that in school?
No.
No?
No.
No? So you guys are just athletes out there, just natural born
Stretch,
Yeah.
run,
LeBron
Indian,
Nets.
Indian runs, and then.
That's crazy because, like, for me, like, even with soccer, like, they had us in the weight room all the time, like, at least about 2 or 3 times a week, and then we running and all that kind of stuff. So I was always wondering because, you know, like, I see the female teams and they never would be in the weight room. I knew
College, we did, but
even female athletes that I knew in high school, like, some of them would transfer out of the weightlifting class. They would not even do that weightlifting class. They would transfer out of it.
See, that was like an elective. I never picked I never picked weight training as an elective in high school.
Why not?
we
Because
didn't even have it.
that, you know, it's just kind of hard to believe
We didn't
because
have that.
I always say it's hard to believe that y'all never did that because of where you guys are at, like in the gym now. You know, even coming on to our team, you guys were already lifting beforehand, but you know, you're young, you're 26, and you're not old at all. You're like what,
26.
39? Just messing with you.
Y'all see that?
I'm just
Y'all see that? Okay.
But yeah, you know, you guys are both in your 20s, and you guys are, you know, pretty strong. Like I told you guys have a lot of potential, and we'll get into that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of, I just want to see like where you guys started at when it came to that. But I know you went to college. Did you go to college?
Mhm.
You
North
played sports?
American University.
You played sports in college?
Soccer.
Only soccer? She would play badminton or something.
I actually
No.
played tennis for a little bit.
You played tennis?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into that.
Ew.
Tennis. When did you start playing tennis?
I played tennis in middle school, and then I got back into it in college.
Oh, that's right. You went to you said a
A
private school?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm about to say they didn't have no tennis in my school.
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't have
You-
tennis at your school?
Coach
They had
Henry.
tennis
No,
at my
man.
school.
Yeah.
No.
Coach Henry was my.
what school you went to? In middle school?
No, in high school.
Oh, okay,
We had
yeah,
tennis in high school.
Yeah, in high school we did, but not in middle school. No,
Oh no.
They barely even
You
had
had
cross
tennis in
country.
middle school?
I loved it actually.
She went to a private
That was-
school. She was rich.
I was.
Well,
not
our
rich.
private schools are different. Like
Yeah.
in California, they do K through 12, but here they have different. Like there's a middle school and a high school, so I didn't know that.
Was it like one of those like Saint? Oh no, you said it was Muslim.
Yeah, like Turkish was their background. They wore uniforms.
So you had to learn like the Turkish religion and all that, or the Muslim
They
religion.
didn't push that on you, but that was a language elective. Yeah, if you want it.
So you know Turkish?
Merhaba, teşekkür ederim.
That's so cool.
Speak up.
Merhaba, teşekkür ederim.
What does that mean?
Hello, and thank you.
How do you say my name is Mo?
Benim adım Mo.
How did I not know that
I
you
didn't
know
know
this?
that either.
I don't tell everybody.
You
Say
should.
adım ne?
You should. See, this is what we're talking about on episode 1. These are things that you need to be putting out there in the dating world.
But I don't. Why? I don't want to date a Turkish guy. No offense. If you're Turkish and you're handsome, listen. I'm not putting you to the side.
No, I'm just saying like
How does that
that
come
you know
apart? Like,
that you know more than one language. I mean,
Oh.
there's a lot of guys who will find that appealing. You know, it shows you're
When I speak
educated.
Spanish, and guys do. I don't speak Spanish fluently though.
So it's say you speak Spanish too?
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I'm from Texas though. Everyone kind of speaks Spanish. So. That's true.
What's your favorite thing to say in Spanish?
Cállate la pinche boca, puta, cabrón.
Lord.
Don't repeat those words.
I
Lord
was
have
about to
mercy.
say,
Why'd you have to go so
sorry.
negative, man? God dang.
When you speak a different language, you always learn the curse words first.
This is very true. Very
Yeah,
true.
so
No, I remember in
that Pablo
Spanish.
was like, speak this. Yeah.
Remember in Spanish in high school, I befriended all the Hispanics so they could teach me the curse words.
Yeah.
So you only know English?
Yeah,
Okay. Why'd you say it like that?
because Spanish, I don't even understand how I passed Spanish in high school.
You just said it. You got all the Spanish people to do the work for you. You just said that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and teach you the bad words.
Yeah.
And that's it.
My second year in Spanish, I 100% passed because it was a pity pass. I know that for a fact.
So I have to ask this. when you guys were in school, at what age did you guys start, like, dating and liking boys?
Liking boys and dating are two different things.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, okay,
I was gonna
let's
say, like,
answer the
middle
first
school
one
for
first.
liking. You know?
Liking?
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
when did you start, like, when did you get your first boyfriend? There's a reason I'm asking this.
Like 15. I lost my virginity at 15. I
Oh,
wouldn't
wow.
call that my boyfriend. But my first crush, like, yeah.
Your first crush took your virginity?
Yeah.
See, girls have it so easy. Guys' first crush, they probably never even got to say hello to it. My
Do
first
you
crush,
like me, yes or no?
they probably didn't even do that. They didn't have the balls to do that.
Really?
Probably
Yeah.
not. I'm pretty sure that the guy who was your crush, I'm pretty sure that you weren't his first crush.
Yeah, it was just so
No
cute.
offense, but that's crazy. What about you? You don't gotta tell me when you lost your virginity.
I was gonna say
My
same as
bad.
Mo.
Yes,
Oh.
my
It's
bad.
literally the same.
Okay.
But I
Was it with
I
the
had,
crush?
It wasn't with an upperclassman. I was like a freshman. He was like a junior. It was more so like
Yeah, not the same age.
See, this is what I be talking about.
Same age.
This is what I be talking about, man. Like, you guys have it so much easier, man. I know as like a freshman, like, we used to always look at the upper class women, and they would just walk past, or girls, they'd walk right past us like we don't even exist. You try to say hey to them, and they'd be like, ew.
Sorry.
They'd be like, you're cute, but you're a freshman. Like,
Yeah.
the reason I asked that is because, so, did you work in high school at all?
I did.
yep.
You did? So, how was it for you balancing work, a boyfriend, sports, and keeping up your grades? Like, how stressful was that for you? Do you remember?
Yeah. Well, the whole boyfriend aspect. I was dating a guy that was like 4 years older than me. Parents didn't know.
So that's probably really stressful, trying to keep it on the low.
No, I would just say I was at a friend's house, and it was back at the time where you just like sent your location. So I just like copied and pasted it.
That's smart. I didn't know nothing.
Yeah, and I only worked in Washington. I think you can only work like up to 20 hours
I
as
think
a
that's
minor.
most places, yeah.
And I worked at a grocery store, so they
What
barely.
grocery store you work at?
Albertsons.
Albertsons? Okay.
Heck yeah.
But I
What
only
about
worked
you?
like 12 hours a week, so it wasn't really that bad. It was
12
like-
hours?
Yeah.
That's not a job. That's volunteering with a little bit of a tip out.
Got me by, give me
You were
spending
able to
money.
buy candy from
I
the
worked.
store.
I felt like when my first job was at Dairy Queen,
Mine was Sonic.
and my sister was my boss, kind of, and I swear she had me working like full time, but I liked it. I mean,
Oh yeah, you were her sibling.
Yeah, she could
But-
move the hip.
I'll
Yeah.
slave you too.
but nah, that job turned out in tragedy. But we're not gonna get into that.
Okay.
Not with my sister. No, actually, that was actually one of the few times that we actually cohabited very peacefully and great. I actually liked working for her. It was kind of fun. But how was it for you balancing everything?
Honestly, it was pretty chill. My boyfriend at the time was older too, not in school, so he was like my ride everywhere. When I was taking the bus, that was the hardest. Like, my first job was Sonic at 15, so it was like taking the bus, going to practice, and all that. But yeah, my mom was
That's a
very-
long day to be
It was-
taking the bus from school. You take a bus from school or
From
home
school,
to
yeah,
work
to work.
to practice back home or whoa.
Yeah, but if I was going to practice, he would take me because the buses stopped running at a certain time. So after practice, if it's like 9, he'll take me home.
And your mom was okay with that.
She had no choice. I mean, I was probably.
So your mom knew that
rebellious.
you had a
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I guess it made it better because we went to the same church, so she trusted him.
He was Turkish.
No, he was Hispanic.
Oh, this is getting deeper.
Yeah. I don't judge race at all. I'm pretty sure I hate
Not that
all
it
the
was
same.
Hispanic. It's just the fact that he was Hispanic. You're black. Was there any Turkish people at this school?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was.
Alright.
I did folk dance too.
So you went to a Turkish school, learned Turkish language, and never dated a Turkish guy.
No.
Okay. So I'm going back to what you said earlier. She don't date Turkish dudes.
I do.
You had every opportunity to. You were there for at least 180 days.
And I love their culture. I don't know. I just never found interest in it.
Did they have Turkish food for lunch?
No. But the teachers will make it if it
So what made this school Turkish?
Just their background, Turkish folk dance. A lot of their electives were surrounded about Turkish, Muslim.
Do you remember any of the dances you had to learn?
No.
No? You know I was about to ask you to show.
Yes,
I
I was-
was secretly does know, but she's saying that.
She knows how.
No,
She
I'm
knows
sure you
how.
can find me on YouTube somewhere.
Because last time she was on episode 1, she told us all that she used to be overweight,
I was.
and we did not believe her. But then off the camera, I might do it on this one. I need to show everybody that photo. She showed us the photo. And
Why? Y'all
that
don't
face,
wanna see
that
that?
face that she just made was the face that me and my brother made. We were like,
Y'all don't
Like,
want to see that.
that
No.
was. It was like two of her.
Yeah.
That was like my sister. She's skinny bean now, but when she was growing up, she was.
I was big. I was chunky.
All right. So, how did you go to college? Did you go to college on a scholarship or anything?
Played for a Division II school over in Minnesota.
Okay. I don't know why.
Minnesota.
I don't know why this whole time I thought you played for like University of Washington or something.
No, I was not. No, I'm 4'11". They're not gonna take a 4'11".
Hey, for soccer, I mean, maybe.
Wow.
How did you go to college?
Straight out of high school, I did. I got my associates in high school because I did dual credit. So then,
Overachiever.
Smart girl.
not
I wish I would have done that.
I'm telling you, they forced like education.
I really want to know, like, how did you manage all of this? You literally, you did the one thing that nobody can do, which is lose your virginity to your crush.
I know.
You balance playing multiple sports. You went to work. You convinced your mom to let you have a boyfriend that drives and is going to drive you home at nighttime. How did you balance all this? How did you do it?
I was younger. I really didn't need a lot of sleep. So I didn't mind coming home at 2 in the morning, waking up. I would say senior year was my hardest because it was more lenient. Our classes, it will start at 8, but it'll be like I don't know what y'all call it. We call it 0 period, and you just do nothing. So then I would just stay home.
A 0 period?
Yeah, 0 period. It's like, it gives like 45-minute period where you can do your homework or just
So like homeroom.
Yeah, like homeroom.
Oh, okay.
And so I would just skip that and just come to school for first period and yeah.
You could skip that?
You cannot. I definitely was called into the counselor, the guidance counselor.
Oh, I was about to say, man, I
I
didn't know
was
that.
saying that my senior year was like the hardest because I wanted to stay out with my boyfriend and like.
So you both were 26.
Mhm.
So when did y'all graduate?
2016.
2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2006. I
It's
thought
10 years.
I was supposed to
That's a
graduate in
decade.
05, but
That's a decade. Just a decade.
yeah, God, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So what sports did you play in college again?
Just soccer.
Just soccer. How was that?
My coach made me my first one. He was there for my freshman and sophomore year. He made me hate soccer. He was an absolute dickhead.
So this is the college you're
Yes.
talking about. Okay.
Yes.
So why was he a dickhead? What happened?
He had no boundaries when it came to punishments. Like I'm talking, we had 5 a.m. running Monday through Saturday for 2.5 months. I strained my hamstring. I had like an ongoing strain on my hamstring all 3 years because my 4th year was COVID, and so I didn't play. One of the girls tore her labrum in her hip, puking, did not care, cussed out the football coach when he came in because their practice was overlapping with ours, and he was driving through blizzards when the highway was closed, so he'd make sure that we were there at practice at 6 in the morning. He's the only coach that I've ever had like scream in my face, but that's a whole separate situation. He was just rude.
So obviously college is stressful already, right?
Yeah.
So how did that affect you, like mentally, having a coach like that?
My freshman year, at least first semester, my grades, that's the first time I've ever had anything lower than a 3.0. It was hard balancing and practicing. We had lifting in the morning, then a 3-hour practice in the afternoon, having all my classes, and my undergrad's in exercise science, so it's a lot of heavy-based science classes. And so having to maneuver labs, some of my professors are kind of rude in regards to that because Thursday through Saturday night we're traveling for our season. We played 16 games because our conference had 16 teams. We're the biggest Division II conference.
So you played 16 games total, or just 16 away games?
16 games total.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with college, how does it work with like traveling? 'Cause don't you guys like travel sometimes? You have to stay overnight and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So do you miss class?
Yeah.
So how does that work? I always wondered. I mean, my brother's in college. I could have asked him, but I don't know why I never thought to ask him. But how does that work? Like, missing class, constantly missing class. How do you make up those assignments? Like all that.
Just like the fair few kind of get, especially if it's like a lab class that's on a Thursday or Friday, they do kind of get like a little annoyed at the fact that they have to prep everything and then give it to us while we're traveling. Because usually when we travel, that's when we're doing our homework for the days that we miss on Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. And then other teachers just uploaded everything on Canvas, and we would just do our homework through that or whatever.
So, for a college student out there that's going to school, try to balance going to school, playing sports, and all that kind of stuff, like what kind of advice would you give them?
Do your schoolwork, I guess. I don't know. Like I feel like if you took like AP classes or like advanced classes, like you already know what the college load is gonna look like. It's already like a lot, and I feel like if you just use your time management wisely, you'll be fine. It's not like in season you're
Well,
allowed
what
to
I'm saying
take
is, like,
12. You only are supposed to take 12 credits. So like most of other people's workloads, they have like 18 to 20 credits they're taking throughout the whole semester.
And yours is shortened because you're in sports.
Yeah, so I'm only taking like 2 or 3 classes.
So, but for somebody who's like stressed out, right? Who's like literally trying to do it all, they're stressed out. What would your advice be to them since you've been a college athlete, and you obviously had good grades in school as well?
I wasn't really. After my fall semester, I kind of just learned how to balance it. I wasn't really ever stressed out. Maybe like finals, but I wasn't ever really like stressed.
Were you ever stressed with college sports?
I was in my freshman year, but that's because I was a partier. So it was like she said, finding balance. I was not prioritizing my education first.
So your advice, you guys' advice would be to a college student would be to prioritize what's more important.
Yeah,
definitely.
So,
and also have.
What if they said that sports is more important than education? What would you say to that?
it depends.
Yeah.
Because the NCAA, especially if you're Division I and Division II, you're an athlete first before a student.
You think so?
I
Yes.
think the professors literally easily give you an A and just be like.
I can get for an elective just because I'm an athlete. I can get like 4 credits just because off of my transcript just because I'm an athlete.
Holy crap, man!
But I mean, other students have to take an elective, whereas I just use my soccer credit because.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm learning stuff I didn't know. I did not know that. I
But
always thought that. I used to look at like college athletes and I'd be like, man, I know they're probably stressed out trying to balance all this homework and going to class and.
Well, it is stressful. But I don't know. At that time, I should have been seeing a therapist, but I wasn't, and I just kind of just learned how to cope with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so what were you trying to cope with? Like, what exactly were you trying to cope with?
I mean, I've always had depression, so.
Okay, we're gonna get into that in a minute.
I was gonna say, it's just,
You just walked right into that one. You walked right in. So when did? Because I know when we first met, you were playing some type of soccer. What type of soccer? Like a team were
it
you
was a
playing with?
women's league. They were too serious for me. They had like a championship, playoffs. It was way too serious. It was way too serious.
I know, like she had me when she first came into the team. She had me adjusting her program so much because of these games.
So they've got a full 90-minute on a full field.
Yeah, like she'll be like,
yeah.
she'll be like,
Put me in the right lane,
can you
please.
take me off on Tuesdays because I had game on Monday, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, like this is crazy.
It's physical. It's like.
No, I mean I know I played soccer, but I'm just like, I don't know how she was doing it both. I don't because just me working and
quitting it.
Yeah, I would not do both. You're crazy.
Have you played soccer after freshman year?
After college,
Yeah.
I did my freshman and junior year.
And then after that, you haven't played soccer since? Mm-hmm. And you told me you was gonna beat
Montana, like I played like not on teams, but like when I was stationed in Montana, I played on like small league teams. Like
okay.
Yeah.
What kind of leagues?
Like just local leagues, like literally just.
Did you play co-ed?
Huh?
Did you play co-ed?
Yeah.
How was
I
that?
like co-ed. I like co-ed.
You have any crushes on the team?
You just have nice guys you're going up against.
Okay, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
I like co-ed because like the way they push the females. Like it wasn't. I've never had any sexual anyone made me feel uncomfortable, but they definitely push you harder than if it was just an all-female team.
Yeah, I remember in high school, you could always tell that the females who played, like for instance with basketball, you could always tell the females who played basketball with guys, outside of their team, versus the girls who just played with just girls. You could just tell it's like the aggressiveness and like the toughness that they embodied was totally different than, the other one, they'd be flopping and.
Yeah. But when I was in school,
Flop.
You play basketball?
Yeah.
But
I played
she
soccer.
just said that.
Soccer they use.
She's been focusing so much on soccer. I forgot she played basketball.
Well, because my parents were like, you gotta. At 14, they said that it was too expensive playing AAU and select soccer, so they're like, you gotta pick.
Oh, okay.
Soccer's more fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Were you good at basketball?
Yeah.
You didn't play basketball? Or
I
you did?
did.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
Very awesome. But in school, we were mandatory to have a opposite sex buddy. So, like in soccer, you had to have a guy soccer buddy. Like to be, like if you go to practice, you're practicing with them too. They're keeping you accountability buddy, I guess.
Oh, you guys played at the same time?
Mhm.
Oh.
That sounds like the military, a battle buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just
You know
keep
what,
it-
though? I think that
Because
was...
it's a Muslim school, so they didn't like, nowadays you probably wouldn't do that. It's like weird, but yeah, they didn't like just have a
Okay.
guy buddy to make sure keep you accountable, and vice versa, the female buddy.
That's cool.
So, let me ask you this. So, after college, when did you get into, like, the gym, like, working out? And what made you get into the gym?
Okay. Honestly, we talked about this season 1.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. After I got a divorce or separated with my husband is when I really got into the gym.
Okay.
And that was to lose weight. I got into powerlifting when I started talking to someone, and they were a powerlifter, and they're like, "Hey, you should powerlift too."
What about you?
I've always kind of lifted on and off in high school towards when I was looking to see what school I wanted to go to for soccer. And then college, we had to lift, but it wasn't anything intense or anything. And then I think it was after I finally ended my 4-year relationship. And there was a lot of things that was when I started getting into therapy, and they're like, you need to find an outlet of something. And my best friend, she's been powerlifting for like 6 years, so she was like, you should really try powerlifting. And then that's how.
Isn't she competing with us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's her name? Danielle, right?
Danielle, yeah.
Yeah, I seen her on
Really?
Instagram.
She squatted like 405 pounds. The
So-
other day. Yeah.
So,
Well,
I know you just started powerlifting within, like, the last year,
Mhm.
right? And were you doing powerlifting before you hired me as a coach?
dang. Yeah, it was. It's been a year now.
Okay. But your first meet was the one in December?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me ask you this. What made you decide, besides your friend, you guys as friends telling you, what made you actually just pull the trigger and say, okay, I'm going to do powerlifting? What made you? What about the sport, like, kind of enticed you?
Just the empowerment of seeing me lift heavier, like hitting PRs, and like just the support in the gym, well, our gym. Yeah.
Okay. So you never did powerlifting before you came to Spanaway Fitness?
No.
Like, well, obviously not you either. Alright. So, with powerlifting, how did you feel about your first meet?
I was mad. I'm not even gonna lie. It was very nerve-wracking, and I was mad. Yeah.
Alright. Can you do me a favor though? Can you speak up a little bit?
Yeah. Okay.
Only because on the past episodes, people have said that the volume is a little low.
Okay.
Sometimes, so just need to make sure we're speaking up a little bit.
I
But
gotcha.
what about you? How did you feel after your first comp?
Same with Mo. Squats. I could have done a lot better with squats. I was nervous. It was
nerve-wracking.
I've never have had that many people just staring at me, just like
Yeah.
and so I felt like I didn't do as well as I wanted to with squats. And
What did you squat?
259?
No.
Yeah.
I was 270.
No, you
100%.
squatted more than me.
There's no way.
Yeah,
You did.
yeah,
You squatted more than me.
it's on the board.
Well, I didn't pay attention to it, but.
And what did you bench?
160, 170, 160.
160.
Yeah, 160.
And what was your deadlift?
330.
All right, we're gonna talk about that deadlift in a minute.
know.
What about you? What did you squat?
270, bench 121, and deadlift 330.
All right. So for all you guys out there, so their first comp was December 7th last year. I had to leave for my niece's funeral. When I left, I gave them both. Well, first let's back up. Let's back up because there's a reason why I'm bringing this all up. So when we first got to the comp, you could tell that they were like hiding and foreshadowing their nervousness. But as we was warming up, they started, not her. She started loosening up a little bit. She was like, had the cherry cheeks going. She was so nervous.
Eating pickles.
So nervous. But going out, it was so weird because she was the nervous one and she was so kind of like just chill. And then she goes out there, crushes her first opener. And then Mo literally decided to forget everything that she was taught.
Yeah.
And almost bombed out of the meet, but She's a strong woman, and she bounced back, and the gym got behind her, and me and Vanessa got behind her as well. And on her third attempt, she did it flawlessly. So kudos to you for that, for bouncing back. So for all you guys who don't know about powerlifting, if you do, let's just say with squats, if you do your 3 attempts and you miss all 3 attempts, you're done for the meet, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then the same thing with bench. If you get to bench, you miss your opener, you miss your second attempt, and you miss your third attempt, your meet's over. Right? So it's very important.
That sounds so mad.
Now you know. That's why I was stressing it so bad. But so it's very important to get your lifts, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I always tell people to make sure they train to comp standards, because
Commands.
and learn commands. But what I was getting at was she crushed her. You missed your third attempt, right?
For my squat, yeah.
Yeah. And then on bench, she's like a bench specialist. It's weird that she's like 118 pounds or something like that, 23 pounds, some little tiny number, and her bench is like way up here. It's crazy. Mo actually, you should just, if I like one of those machines, I'd give you like a round of applause, man. Because coming into me coaching her, she officially hired me about 8 weeks before before the comp date, and she told me that her dream was to bench like 110 pounds, right?
I just wanted to hit a yellow.
Yeah, that's all she kept saying. She didn't even, I don't even think you knew what the weight was. You just said, I want to do a yellow. Right?
Yeah.
And so throughout the whole prep, like, you know, I think subconsciously without her actually saying it so many times, she was just like, these weights are so little. And then we get to the peaking of the prep, and literally I put on there for her opener, and her opener, I think you opened at what, like 99?
Sure.
I think it was like 99 she opened at, and then right from there we jumped straight to 110, and then 110 moved like water. And I think that was the highlight of the meet for her. Even though she likes to talk about her deadlift, but I think for her, for your morale, and for your confidence, I think that was really important for you, because after that you kind of chilled out. I think you were more worried about that. I think you really wanted that yellow. And then so what was really ironic was when she did her second attempt, it was not a yellow.
Yeah, I didn't know
Because
the colors of the cuffs. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a green, a little. What do you call it?
The little weenie
Juniors.
Juniors.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way I hit 121. I was like, wow.
Yeah. So, but she finished at 121, and then coming full circle back to deadlifts, they both, you know, went toe to toe with deadlifts. And then when I left, I had told them I think the third attempt was supposed to be between 309 and like 319 or 14 or something like that. And then I'm at the funeral and I get a text and they're like, I hit 150 keys.
I blame Joel if you're watching this, because he was like, well, you hit 330 before. Just hit it again. I was like, oh, okay.
I know, that's what Danielle told me. She's like, I'm not doing 320. We're doing 330.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
So,
Yeah,
pointing fingers.
Yeah, you can point fingers at whoever you want. All I know is that I gave my speech at the funeral, and I got off the little podium, and I sat down, I looked at my phone, and I think it was yours first. And it said 150 kilograms, and I was like, okay, cool. And I said, wait, what? But that's the beauty of the sport, though. Like, you know, is that a lot of times you don't know what you're, you know, capable of. And if you just kind of, at meets, if you just kind of like tune in all the pain, all the work, if you focus on what you've learned, and you don't cheat yourself through prep, and then all the pain that you have and all the frustration you have, you just leave it out there on the platform, you'll probably achieve something you don't think you could do. You know, so going into this second meet, what's a goal of yours on squats? Like, what's your goal?
Of squats? Like number?
Yeah. Or even it don't have to be numbers.
I'd be happy with around 270.
Why 270?
Because
You
260.
hit 270.
She's hit it being prep before.
No, I haven't. Perhaps
There's no
last
way.
prep, I couldn't even hit 264 when we were doing it, and I was so mad at myself because I was able to do it before. And then when we...
Isn't 270 a red and a blue on a squat bar?
No,
That's
264.
Wait.
You have hit 270. I have
A
the video.
blue and a red and a 2.5.
It's 275.
That's 275?
Yes.
Oh, then I hit that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm saying
I already know you. I already know. That's
that's
why I'm looking at you like, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I like went back and.
So think about it this way, right? So you have a squat bar that's
That's
55,
55,
right?
yeah. Mhm.
You add the reds on top of it. What does that make it?
I need my I'm gonna need my
Oh,
kg
Lord
calculator.
Jesus. Okay, so we'll make it easier for you. You know that a red and a blue is normally, what, 242, right?
Mhm.
But you have that 55-pound bar, which is 10 pounds heavier, so add 10. So it's 253,
Oh,
right?
crap. Yeah, you're right.
Right? And then you add the yellows on the, you add the yellow, the little 2.5s on the end, right?
The blacks.
Right?
Oh.
That's 265. That make it 265-ish or whatever. And you add the 2.5 without, that's 276.
Oh.
Yeah, but you've done it before. You just didn't know it. It was like one of those lifts where you're supposed to do one thing and you did something totally different because, as we can see, you can't count kilos. You know, she struggles with that the most. She struggles with that the most. She'll be like, it'd be like 243. She'll be like, well, I did 253. I thought it was 242. It was a red and a blue.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, I know. You guys all of you guys do it. I think the only one who doesn't do it right now is Adam. He's pretty good about it. But what's the goal for you on squats?
To actually hit my opener with commands.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Don't rush it.
Okay. And then do you have a bench?
A blue.
goal?
I know.
You want to hit a blue this time?
Yeah, because I've hit yellow.
You hit 126
yellow,
already.
black, and silver. So the next up is a blue.
You said you hit a yellow, a black, and a silver?
Yeah, that was on my schedule.
That's 120.
I mean, a yellow, a white, and a yellow. Yeah, yellow, black, and silver.
Yeah, that's like 126, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 126. So you're right there at it.
And I tried hitting a blue with JB and wasted. So.
But you know that happens. You know, missing lifts doesn't mean anything as long as you keep the confidence up. And sometimes you just need your CNS to feel it move, right?
Yeah.
And then you both hit 331. Mo, we're gonna talk about your deadlift here in a second.
No, we will not.
Yeah, we are.
Dang it. I don't want to talk about
Dang
that
it.
either.
What are you hoping to hit on this one?
Honestly, 300 during prep wasn't really moving, so I don't know. Deadlift is kind of, I don't know at this point. I'm just going to do it, and hopefully it moves.
Yeah, give it a God.
Yep, just go up and
What are you
still
hoping to
pray.
hit? Captain, I'm going to switch my deadlift a week out from comp.
Listen, sumo was killing my pelvis.
Oh, you went back to conventional?
Yes,
Yes.
I had to. I couldn't get 308 off the ground to save my life. Like, when I felt like I was giving birth again, that's how it felt. I went back to conventional, and it felt so good. So,
That's good.
whatever. My first goal was 2 reds in a blue, but we're going to knock that down a little bit. So, I don't know, 345 or something.
All right, so these numbers that you guys have given out, do you guys want to know what I want to hit in my comp?
Yes.
Well, first I'm waiting on a message to find out if I'm going to stay in this weight class.
Yeah.
Because, as you guys all know, I've been cut like 50 pounds since January 1st. I really didn't prep at all. I haven't worked with my coach in a year. So I've just kind of been, I had the broken leg and then hurt my sciatica and it got cleared. And now I've lost 50 pounds
That's
roughly.
what comes with old age.
Huh?
That's what comes with old age.
I know. Honestly, it's so funny
Getting older
because
than us.
it's so funny because in the gym, people started calling me Unc.
Oh.
Oof.
And at first, I didn't. I kind of got mad about it because I was like, hold up.
Oh.
But then I realized it's a respect thing, you know, because a lot of these, you know, and I had to look at it this way. A lot of these people who are younger, right, they're doing some amazing things with their numbers. Like they're just getting stronger and stronger, you know, and then you have people who are like my age and people who start out with me. A lot of them are not competing anymore. I've seen so many people put it on their post like, oh, this is my last comp, and you know, even I've done it. I've said I retired like 6 times.
Yeah.
But I just keep coming back because I love the sport, man, and you know, I need to be competitive at all times. But I will say that this comp is going to be really trying for me mentally and physically because, like I told you guys before off camera, you know, like I'm starting to get sick from this cut, catching cramps, feeling nauseous, you know, different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we do this sport, right? That's why we do this.
Mm-hmm.
We literally do it. We put our bodies through crazy stuff. I tell people, you know, I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what bodybuilders listening to me. Bodybuilding is not a sport, right? And if you think that you think I'm wrong, you can come on the podcast. We can talk about it. We have a why bodybuilding is not a sport.
It's just
You want to know what I think about bodybuilding?
it's a fat eating disorder for me.
Bodybuilding is a pageant. It's a beauty contest.
Okay, I can see that.
This is why, right? Tell me one sport where when you win, they call you Mr. This or Miss that, and they give you like flowers and all that kind of stuff.
None. Beauty pageants.
Exactly.
Miss America and Miss
Exactly.
Universe.
But that's what they do. That's what they do in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking bodybuilding. I respect the what do you want to call it?
Discipline.
I respect it.
I couldn't.
I respect bodybuilding, but
one at a day.
the reason why I was
I
saying
like my
that,
food. I like my food.
the reason why I said that was because I think about different sports and the mental struggle it takes, right? You think about powerlifting, right?
It's a you
Powerlifting.
versus you game.
But besides that, think about how long, right? So you prep for 12 weeks, which is about 3 months, right? How many hours you think 12 weeks, and you're training 5 times a week. That's 60 days, right?
Yeah.
You're training for about how many hours a day? About 3,
30,
right?
4,
So that's about 900 hours.
Well, when you put
Right.
it like that.
Well, listen, watch this. And then all for what?
one left.
For 9 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll be there from 8 a.m. to 8
Well,
p.m.
you're only on the platform for 9 minutes. You have
True.
1 minute
That's
to
a
compete
whole
each
long
lift.
day, though.
You see what I'm saying? But you have 1 minute to compete your lift. You do 3 squats, 3 bench, 3 deadlifts. That's 9 lifts, right? So you do all that prepping for 9 minutes to show out, right? And then you think about it as well, right? If you're having a bad day in some other sports, you can kind of take it easy, right?
Yeah.
No matter what you're lifting, if it's a deload week or if it's peak week or whatever the case may be, 200 pounds is 200 pounds. 100 pounds is 100 pounds. Every time you walk into the gym, you're lifting something that a lot of other people aren't doing.
Yeah.
And you might have a bad day where you didn't eat, or you don't sleep, or for females, you might be on your monthly, or, all kind of different things that you have to literally leave that at the door and go in there and lift that weight, So I say that's why I named the team Kraz3, because you got to be kind of crazy to do this. A little crazy. To every day, even when you got injuries, if you're not feeling well, your back hurts or whatever, you got to come in the gym and you got to get after it, because if not, it's going to show on the platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In our closing, one, what do you think about the podcast?
I love it. This is fun. This is
All
great.
right. What do you think about it?
Let's chill.
Yeah.
All right. And I know you said you only watched the first episode. What did you think about the first episode?
It was good.
Be careful what you said, because obviously I was on it, but Mo was there.
No, it was good. I enjoyed listening to you guys talk.
Okay. And then you watched any other episodes?
Yeah, I don't know their names. I watched Joe's. I watched.
What was your favorite episode so far?
What's her name? Is that the only female you had on?
Samantha?
Samantha.
Okay.
Only because I related to it so much, like from a single mother point of view, her views on men.
Okay.
Yeah, I really liked it. Her
Alright.
trauma I've never had the same trauma as her from her past, but how it affected her, like with her kids.
You've been on with 2 different females. Would you ever come and do a one-on-one?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to set that up. All right, so in our closing,
I've been with 3. Oh yeah, 2 females. So yeah,
yeah, 2 females.
I just saw Samantha's. That's how personal it was. Like her podcast.
A lot of people liked her episode,
I was gonna say,
but I will say
tasted
this for you guys out there watching this. A lot of you guys wrote me and said that you liked her episode, but we need to get the views up on it and show that video some love, because it's kind of low. But that was a good episode, a really good episode. I think that was probably, honestly, for myself, I think that was one of the most comfortable episodes I've done.
Yeah, it was just like so natural.
Yeah,
Like, it didn't feel
it was really good. It was a really good conversation. But yeah, I'll definitely have you guys back on. And like per usual, you said you deal with depression. We'll have you back on and talk about that. But for somebody who is in your type of lifestyle, like your dynamic, what kind of advice would you give them if they're battling with any kind of like depression or any kind of mental health?
My big one, if you can, health insurance or anything, see a therapist. My therapist, I've been seeing her for the last 3 years, and I mean, I'm not perfect, but she has really helped me open my eyes at some things that I was doing previously in the relationships that I was in and I was choosing, and has helped me realize that I need to choose myself first.
Okay.
And, finding something to let yourself get kind of like an outlet. That's why I go to the gym. It's kind of just my own time that I can like kind of decompress. And finding hobbies. I love to read. Big reader. Love to draw. So just finding little comfort things that really help you, like, disengage in what's going on through your mind.
And what about you? What kind of advice would you give to single mom, a woman who's in her mid-20s?
Damn. Oof.
No, it's
I'm serious.
It's like, you say 26? No, but mid-20s? I'm just playing. Same. I'm a single mom. The gym is literally my therapist. So I guess I pay for her. I pay my gym membership. So that counts.
What kind of advice would you give somebody who's going through some kind of like mental health issues and struggling? Like, what kind of advice would you give them?
I feel like I'm a very positive person. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who told me this, but it's like I always picture myself in a worse, like there's someone out there in a worse position. So I just find myself being thankful for what I have: a roof over my head, a healthy daughter, clothes on my back, and days that I do feel down. I was like, there's someone out there who's sitting in the cold right now with a child too. So it's like, it could be worse. I'm grateful for what I have, and it makes me push harder to get out of my funk and just change around. Because you're in control of your own life, in a sense, and your own emotions. So, yeah, I don't really have a lot of anger or anything in me. I don't let people get to me like that.
All right, guys. So that's the conclusion of this episode. If you guys want to see Vanessa come on the episode and talk about her struggles and her life, if you want to see Mo back on, if you guys want to have Mo back on for a third time in season 1, do me a favor, share this post, like this post, leave in the comments what you guys think about it, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. And just like they said, make sure you take care of your mental health. That's the most important thing. Get in the gym, talk to your friends, talk to your family. Don't be afraid to speak about the things that you're battling with. Don't hold it in, because eventually it's going to build up, and then we don't want to have a ceremony for you. Okay. I love you all, and you guys be blessed. And I appreciate you guys coming on here. Okay.
Of course.
It's fun.
All right.
Hi. Squats were amazing, actually. I feel like I left some numbers on the platform, but it's okay.
What do you mean you left some numbers on the platform?
My third attempt was 286. I feel like I should have just shot for 300, 308.
What did you hit at your last one?
What did I hit? 270. Hell yeah. Felt easy. Yeah, pretty much.
What are you hoping to hit on bench?
What's a blue?
132.
132. I got noodle arms.
Good one.
So.
Let's go get it. Let's rest up. Let's eat. Let's go get it. All right.
Yes, sir.
Go, Mo. Last four, Mo. Come on.
Go, Mo!
All right, Vanessa. Squats is done. How do you think you did?
I did good. I feel like I kind of sold myself a little short with my last attempt.
What do you mean by that?
I could have done more.
What did you hit on your last one?
270. I wish I would have done 280.
At your last comp, you missed 270, right?
Yeah.
So you would say that's an accomplishment?
Yeah.
All right. What are you hoping to do on bench?
170.
All right. Let's get it.
Come on.